YouTube Golf Rundown. If you're tuning in, just drop a comment in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? Would love to see kind of where you guys are tuning in from. Hope you had a good week. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, and then at some point I am also just going to jump into, I prepared a little bit of notes here, so I am going to jump into a little bit of a script. But yeah, sorry about that, Paul. I look really clear and very bright on my Sony camera, but on this built-in webcam, it is a little bit dark and grainy, so apologies on that. I'll try to figure that out for the next live stream. But Florian's tuning in from Germany. That's awesome. It's got to be pretty late there, so appreciate you tuning in. We got Don from North Carolina. I love it. Paul from Yorkshire. So awesome. Thank you for tuning in here. And I typically have like an overlay graphic right over here. So I don't even know if this mic is working. This mic is supposed to be for my camera, so I doubt this mic is even helping with the sound quality. Anyway, but I typically have like an overlay graphic over here. I think there's a way through YouTube you can kind of stream and add some overlays and graphics. But for this video, I just decided to write some things out here. So this is like my built-in graphics. I don't know how well you can see this. And I'm also thinking that I have to stay close to the computer so you can hear me well. But we have a little bit of a makeshift board here. Again, we're just going to roll with this first live stream. It's going to get better and better every time I pop on live. So thanks for tuning into the first live stream here on the Golf Clan YouTube channel. I haven't done this before. This is all news to me. I can see the chat over here. And then in terms of audio, visual, and sound quality, I'm not really sure how this is all working, but next time we're going to get that figured out. So the title of this video, YouTube Golf's in Trouble. We are going to get to that at the end of this video. So we're going to start here just by kind of running through some of the recent news items in the YouTube golf space. If you are tuning in, if you could go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, that would be awesome. I'm going to try to post this video after I do the live stream, if YouTube lets me. So hopefully you guys can help this video get off to a good start by just hitting that thumbs up button. If I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, I'm Dougie, and this is the Golf Clan, your home for YouTube golf news. So appreciate you hanging out with me on a Thursday night. I hope you've had a good work week. We got Friday around the corner. We got an awesome weekend coming up ahead. Some great fall weather, a lot of football here in the U.S. So it's just a great time, but I appreciate you making the time just to hang out with us. Jumping into some of the news items, we're going to start with Rick Shiels' YouTube channel. And so Rick Shiels recently hosted the Bob Does Sports guys, and his channel has been pumping out some of the collab videos with the Bob Does Sports crew. So most recently, he played a scramble with the one and the only Fat Perez. This was at the Castle course at St. Andrews, I believe. Gosh, the courses over there just look incredible. I'm from the States. I've never played golf over in the UK. I've traveled to Ireland before. I also went to Scotland briefly, and it's just beautiful over there, but I've never had the chance to tee it up. So all these videos posted by Rick Shiels and all the different creators he's collabing with, it's just like a reminder of how badly I want to go and take a golf trip over to the UK. Courses over there just look so different. And that was something interesting that I observed, just seeing guys like the Good crew go over and play there. For some of those guys, it was their first time playing true link style golf. And that was one of the questions that when I went to the Good meetup here in New York, I'm doing this live stream from New Jersey, but I went to the Good New York meetup. And when I was talking to Luke Kwan, he actually commented that link style golf is not really his favorite type of golf to play. So I think here in the States, you have some people who prefer more of like the green, lush grass, and then others who are just like the link style golf, the home of golf in Scotland. That type of golf is just so different than what we can play here in the US that we're enamored by it. And that's definitely where I fall. I've just heard about trips over to Scotland and Ireland, and I would love to get the chance to play links style golf. Here in the US, there are not that many true links tests. Bandon Dunes is a popular golf destination that has some link style golf, but I don't know how true link style even Bandon Dunes is. So really cool to see the Bob the Sports guys go over there. If you watch some of those videos, you'll see Robbie Berger, Brilliantly Dumb, Bobby Fairways. It looked like he kind of switched to playing a knockdown shot to keep it under the wind, low follow through. And so it was just cool to see those guys try to navigate playing links style golf and meeting up with Rick Shiels. I mean, it sounds like from everything we've heard, I mean, we've seen podcasts by the Bob Does Sports guys, podcasts on the Rick Shiels podcast channel, just a lot of coverage of that whole collaboration week. And now the videos are starting to roll out. And so it's fun to watch. Looks like those guys had a blast. It also looks like some of the clips that made it on the social media, those guys also got after it pretty hard at the bars at night. So it looks like, I guess I should call it pubs. I think that's a more proper term, but it looks like it was a very fun group of people and they really kind of meshed very well together. One thing that came up that was interesting was hearing the Bob Does Sports guys talk about Rick Shiels and his team. I wasn't aware of how big of an operation Rick Shiels' golf YouTube channel is, but the Bob Does Sports guys were saying that it's a team of 14 people, something around that size. And that just blew my mind. It just totally blew my mind because you see some people who might have one videographer, might have one editor and one videographer. That's a team of 3 people. But to have 14 people is just wild how much Rick is investing into his channel to make the best content possible. And from everything that the Bob Does Sports guys had said, it's a great group of people and they really meshed well. So Rick Shiels posted as I was saying, a 2-man scramble video with Fat Perez at the Castle Course at St. Andrews. And Rick was not playing his best, but thankfully FP, I'm not sure if you've seen that video. It's only posted 1 day ago, but FP's putter was just dialed in. So it's really fun to watch FP play, and his game certainly translated. He just hits like a low piercing ball flight. So I think his game is kind of built pretty well for links golf because he keeps it low and his drives get a lot of run. He doesn't hit it too far and he hits it very straight. So he rolled the ball really well in that video. It was really fun to watch. Before that, there was a scramble match with the full Bob Does Sports crew, and that was a 2v2 scramble. And then before that, there was another scramble match. And about 2 weeks ago, Rick took on Fat Perez in a match play match, which was an hour long, has nearly 1 million views. So you're really seeing this Bob Does Sports collab on the Rick Shiels channel pay off in terms of views. And like I've talked about in past videos, Rick Shiels does a really good job of trying to lift up other channels. He's not just collabing to try to kind of mix his audience with all these other channels that are popping up. He's truly, made it a mission with the Bob Does Sports crew to try to push them to 1 million subscribers. I think they're at about 615,000, something around that, and moving at a pretty steady clip. So Rick has definitely been a good host and is trying to elevate their channel. But those are some really good matches. And currently, or most recently, Rick hosted Grant Horvat over in the UK, and they looked like they played at some really good courses. We saw the first video come out on Grant's channel, 18-hole stroke play. I put out a video on that, and I think some people might have interpreted my take as maybe trying to take a shot at Rick Shiels, and it definitely was not intended that way. I think that I was just maybe commenting on how Rick Shiels can take his content even to the next level, and that would be through trying to really just deal with playing bad golf and try to still make good content out of it. But he definitely seems like he's working through some swing changes, trying to slow down his backswing, and his putting was not good. So he's working through some things, but it sounds like as of late he's playing better golf than ever. But at least in some of these videos with Grant, he's struggling a little bit. And that match with Grant was interesting, and I think at some point it got out of hand. I think there should have been a handicap there if they're going to play stroke play to make that match a little bit closer. We heard in a podcast that Grant has a match coming up against James Robinson, so that should be really interesting. I don't know if that'll be posted on Rick Shiels' channel or Grant's, but I know James is a very good player, so former professional, so that'll be a really tough test for Grant. And in his match against Fat Perez, Rick hinted at doing a part 2 collab with the Bob Does Sports crew in the U.S. So it sounds like we may see Rick make a trip to the U.S. in 2024. He was last in the U.S., I want to say, around December of last year. that's when he visited Florida. He played with Ricky Fowler. He did a podcast collab with Bob Does Sports, and they talked about playing together in person. And so he did visit Florida, seemed to love Florida golf, played some of the best courses down in Florida. And who knows, he may be coming back in 2024. And I know some of these American YouTube guys are trying to talk Rick into maybe getting a place down in Florida or even relocating because the year-round weather, the golf, the professionals, just the opportunities and the quality of life are pretty good down in Florida. So who knows if that'll ever happen, but it does sound like Rick wants to do a part 2 to this collab with Bob Does Sports, which is quite exciting. All right, making sure I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Cool, y'all are still with me, appreciate it. Let's go back to the board right here. And again, I don't know if this mic is even working, but in the small chance that somehow this mic is helping with the audio, I'm going to put it down right here. Going back to our board. All right. So I don't know if you can see that, but Rick Shiels, bam, just talked about Rick and what Rick is up to lately. And now, as you can see at the bottom, we're going to talk about the title of this video, which is a threat to YouTube golf. This looks backwards to me. Hopefully you watching this, it doesn't look backwards. But all right, so Rick Shiels, boom. How about Good? Moving on to Good. Good is currently, hopefully you can still hear me. Good is currently in Daytona Beach for a Good week. Appreciate that feedback, Paul. Thanks for letting me know. Good is currently in Daytona Beach for Good week at Hammock Beach. And Hammock Beach has 2 courses. One's more inland and one is right on the ocean. I actually had the chance to play the ocean course at Hammock Beach a couple of years ago now. It is an awesome course. Like, there are some holes that are right on the ocean, and the wind can get extremely high right on the ocean. So Good looks like they just arrived down in Florida. Hammock Beach is not too far from Jacksonville, Florida. I think that's where I flew in. But really cool course. They're going to enjoy Good week down there. It looks like from some of the vlogs content that we've seen that on that trip, at least who I can remember seeing, is Garrett, Steve, Bubby, Luke, Matt, and who's the last one? Brad. So those 6 are there. Is AJ there? I don't know. I kind of thought he was taking every trip with the good guys, but I didn't see him. Maybe I just missed him. I watch a lot of content, so maybe I just missed them. But it looks like those 6 at least are there for the Good week. And then obviously CEO Matt Kendrick is there as well. So that'll be fun to see some of the content coming out of Hammock Beach. And after this Good week, they're going to head to TPC Sawgrass, where they're hosting their own shootout tournament with Troon at TPC Sawgrass. I mean, the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass, it doesn't get a whole lot more elite than that, aside from, Pebble Beach and Augusta National. But that's such a cool course. There's an island green, obviously. The 17th is going to be a fun one, and that's a tournament that they're hosting. So I think it's, from what I remember, it's like 52-man teams you could sign up to go play in that tournament. And I think they're going to be competing in it. So a lot of cool content to come from their tournament. They've been doing a lot of partnership with Troon lately, so more opportunities are coming their way because of that partnership. And after that, they're going to finish up the trip in West Palm Beach. That's just an area that Garrett in particular just really loves. So West Palm is where, I'm pretty sure that's where Garrett met Grant a couple years ago, and they collabed. And then Garrett used to take like one trip a year down to West Palm and film a bunch of content. And so they're going to head there after TPC Sawgrass. And who knows if they're going back to West Palm Beach. I mean, that's right next to Jupiter. That's where Grant and Micah live. Could we see Grant in a good video? Could we see Garrett and Grant finally play a match and collab again on each other's channels? I mean, if not then when? Because that's such a good opportunity there. Never know. In other good news, the putters are now available in Golf Galaxy. I've not yet been to a Golf Galaxy and seen the putters in person, but I'd love to. I think that'd be awesome just to actually roll a few of those putters. I could have rolled some putts with the good putters at a couple of their live events. The last one that I went to was in Arizona. They had a putting green and a putting contest, and you could just grab one of their putters and start rolling the rock. I didn't do it, but it's cool now that if you have a Golf Galaxy near you, it's a pretty popular place in the US. I'd say PGA Tour Superstore, Golf Galaxy, those are some of the top golf like retail shops. And so it's a huge partnership for Good to get their putters, which used to only be available to order online, to get those in person. I mean, as Bubby said in one of their videos, there's nothing like rolling a putter before you buy it. It's tough to just buy a putter. You want to feel it. You want to, see how it looks visually, the alignment, and all of that. So I think that's really going to help with their brand. It's really going to help with their putter sales. And Golf Galaxy is a huge nationwide chain. So a lot more people will get good putters in the bag now that they're stocked in Golf Galaxy. Good opened up distribution in the UK. That's really good news. I know that takes a lot of time to do if you're running a company and you have apparel and other manufacturing. It's difficult. There's all kinds of red tape and regulation involved in distributing and selling products in the UK. And so good expanding there, I think, is just going to even help their, it really is going to help their revenue just grow tremendously, because now it's not going to take so long and be so expensive to ship. And so good now, I think, officially has distribution opened up in the UK, which is pretty cool. Good backpacks were previewed in Matt Sharf's recent vlog. Matt Sharf posted a vlog today and it showed off this backpack. I mean, it looks like a cool backpack. There's good lining kind of inside the backpack, and then there's like a special compartment where you can put your shoes. It really looks pretty sick. What does Good not make? I really thought they were gonna stick in their lane of apparel, and now it's like anything that they can possibly put their Good logo on that you would want to buy in your day-to-day life, they're selling. So I don't know. I think it's interesting, but I also kind of wonder, are they losing their core like value proposition if they're trying to kind of make too many things? Then what are they going to be known for? If they're going to start making belts and who knows, like coffee mugs, like everything Good will make. But before, I think when they just focused on their apparel, it was just sort of like, I need to get my hands on some of that apparel, whether it's the joggers, whether it's the hats, whether it's the polos or quarter zips. And now it's just sort of like Good makes everything under the sun, which is wild. The RV tour came to an end, and we saw the finale video posted about 2 weeks ago. After that grind of putting out one video a day, Good has slowed down, releasing just a few videos in the last 2 weeks. I don't know how they did that. I don't know how Max and Colin did one video a day for 9 days in a row for that tournament. That was just an unbelievable effort. And it was cool to have one video a day during that series. I know Good took a little bit of flack for that finale video down at, the Omni Resort in Texas, but it was a par 3 course, and a lot of people had commented saying that it was a letdown. The final episode was a letdown because they did it on a par 3 course, but that was also because they had a fan meetup, and it's just easier to have a meetup in some type of a par 3 course. It's easier to watch, it's easier for fans, and just saves on time. But I thought that series was phenomenal. Really enjoyed seeing them. It was cool just to start, when they first flew into New York, they arrived at that Golf Zone Social. That was a video that I put out, but I got to see the Good tour bus before they left on the tour. So it was just gave me even more kind of interest in seeing how all that content shook out, seeing them take that tour bus all the way from New York down to Texas and to culminate in that last video. But yeah, that's been some really good content. The most recent video on the Good channel was a $1,000 match video. I think it was a 2v2v2. And this video was, special to me just because it's cool for me to see the die course at French Lick. It's in Indiana. I am from Indiana, and I've made one hole-in-one in my golf career, and it was at that course, the die course at French Lick, hole number 8. And so to see them back at that course just brings back, it's very nostalgic for me. It's such a beautiful course. From the tips, it's 8,100 yards. They've been saying that course is the nicest course they've played, and I can totally see that. It's breathtaking. It's a stunning, visually stunning course. And I really enjoy all the videos coming out of that stop on their Good Good tour. Before that, they posted a really, it was kind of a, I don't want to say clickbaity, but a teaser of a Kendrick versus Steve match. Honestly, when I clicked on that video, it's posted about 6 days ago, I thought they were finally giving the people what they wanted, which is Steve versus Kendrick, 1v1, and that's it. And unfortunately, that was just a small part of the video. It started off with them playing a match against each other, but it was all part of a bigger head-to-head tournament bracket style match. So who knows? When are they gonna have Steve play Kendrick 1v1? I think that video would do numbers. I think the fans have obviously spoken. It's very interesting to see. They have such an interesting relationship. Like, there's beef there on the golf course, but they also are super tight. And so I think that it's kind of a strange thing, like CEO beefing with one of the players, but it works. It works on the course. It works for numbers. It works for views. I would really personally enjoy seeing that. And again, hopefully at some point that they do decide to deliver on that, because people want it. People definitely want it. Good has traveled a lot lately. I talked about them being in Florida at Hammock Beach, but they also recently took a trip to California to get fit with Callaway and visit Full Swing Simulators headquarters. And Full Swing is the company that's putting in, or that has already put in, the simulator within the Good warehouse. So they went to visit Full Swing HQ, and then, like I mentioned, also teamed up with Callaway. So we could expect to see either on the main channel or the extra channel some good Callaway fitting sessions. So it will be interesting to see which clubs some of those guys get fit into. And then after the California swing, they went to Houston to work with Drive, Chip, and Putt. Drive, Chip, and Putt is an awesome organization that helps a lot of youth get into the game of golf. And it's called Drive, Chip, and Putt because that's how the whole tournaments work. You don't play full rounds. You just get points by hitting drives, chips, and putts and advancing. And I think now the national Drive, Chip, and Putt is at Augusta National. So that's changed a lot. I actually played in the Drive, Chip, and Putt when I think I was maybe like 9 or 10 years old. There's different age brackets, but I played in a local one and I actually won it. Went to a regional one, and unfortunately I did not qualify for nationals, but it's a very cool organization. So awesome that they partner with Drive, Chip, and Putt. And then lastly, on Good, they shared recently that the Good Labs channel was created. They shared some screenshots. I think it has just over 1,000 subscribers and no videos posted yet. So it's interesting to see that they've created the Good Labs channel, because they have the Good extra channel, and Grant used to kind of run Good Labs when he was a part of Good. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was all under the Good extra channel. And so now it looks like they are creating a third arm where they're really going to have Brad Dahlke take over and do more instruction-based content with some of the Good guys on this lab channel. Now that their warehouse is coming to fruition, that everything's kind of built out, I think we're going to see more instructional type of content on their channel. And Brad's going to step in and really try to offer instruction for the viewers, and also try to help some of the good players get better with their swings. So something just to kind of keep an eye out for is that first upload on the Good Labs channel. I think that channel may explode once they actually start posting, but right now they've just kind of hinted at it. All right, we got the whiteboard. We're making some progress. I might have to pick it up if I'm going to get through all of this, so I might speed up a little bit, but talked about Rick Shiels, talked about Good, and now I'm going to get down to GM Golf. All right. GM Golf channel has been really doing well lately. He's now at around 975,000 subscribers, closing in on 1 million soon. There was a little period on the GM Golf channel where it seemed like he was wanting to kind of use Corinna in a lot of thumbnails and play match with Paige Spiranek. And I mean, those videos definitely brought in a lot of viewers, but now he's sort of settling back into some serious golf content, including some matches against some Korn Ferry players. So interesting to see kind of his channel, and he's really pushing for 1 million subscribers. You have heard that in some of his recent videos, that that's an important milestone for Garrett. It's just wild because I was tuning into GM Golf before, man, when he was back in Kansas City. I mean, way before they moved to Dallas, and he's back in Kansas City. He's grinding out vlogs. Matt's slapping a pan around, like they're doing trick shots in the house from the upstairs down to the basement. So it's crazy to see GM Golf closing in on 1 million subscribers. Like, it's absolutely nuts. So taking a look at Garrett's channel, as I mentioned, a couple weeks ago, he played Fat Perez in a match. I put out a video breaking down that match. Then he took on 2 Korn Ferry players. One's a good athlete, Andrew Kozan, and the other is James Nicholas. That was a compelling match. Him and Quan really tried to give those Korn Ferry guys a run. Then they played the Tiny Golf Club Challenge with Luke Quan and Dial Golf Blake. Garrett actually played really well in that match, I think, and it might have messed up his swing a little bit. But in the next match, the same day he was filming, Sabrina Andolfo is a female golf influencer, and they went out and played a match. She apparently DM'd him, said, "I think I can beat you." So they arranged it while he was down in Florida. That was interesting because the energy levels were just really matching between Sabrina and Garrett. It's almost like it was kind of scary. It's like they were the same person. But yeah, they really got along well. And so that was a compelling match. And Sabrina's a player. She's a player. I don't know if you've seen that match. I thought it was an interesting watch because she can play. And she was also kind of, I don't want to say sandbagging, but she was kind of slow playing how good she is and kind of like catching Garrett by surprise. After that, Garrett took on Paige Spiranak in a match where Fat Perez caddied for him and Bobby Fairways caddied for Paige. That match did numbers, 586,000 views. It's posted 7 days ago. This match, if you haven't seen this video, go check it out. It's an interesting video for sure. Paige can play. That's the thing about Paige Spiranak is that, sure, I mean, she's kind of figured out her space within the golf space. She's figured out her value proposition. That's obviously clear. But the thing about Paige is that she can flat out play. And so I personally was just really looking forward to this match to see, can Garrett take down Paige? A lot of people talk about Paige. She's a stick. Can Garrett take her down? On the first hole, Paige absolutely blades a wedge shot. Didn't see it coming. And I was like, whoa, wait a second here. I don't want to give away that match if you haven't seen it, but Garrett played really well. It was a very interesting watch. And Bobby Fairways was fumbling the bag a little bit, caddying for Paige. But that was interesting for sure. And then 1 day ago, Garrett posted another video with the Korn Ferry guys. So Andrew Kozan and James Nicholas, they played the back 9 at PGA National, and they each had like a goal in mind for what they wanted to shoot on that back 9. Really interesting just to see Garrett play against someone like Andrew Kozan, right? Someone who's has status on the Korn Ferry Tour. How good is Garrett, right? You're playing stroke play next to someone who's on the Korn Ferry Tour. That's interesting. It's very interesting. So enjoyed watching that one. Again, Garrett's kind of on the rise right now, pushing towards 1 million subs. And the other thing that I wanted to cover with Garrett is that his vlog channel has been taking a lot of attention and emphasis lately. I put out a video on my channel just noting how well the Garrett Clark vlog channel is doing, skyrocketing. It's surpassing 100,000 subscribers, and he's now trying to put out daily vlogs. So his most recent video, actually, he's been posting a lot, so these notes might be outdated, but in a recent video, hold on one second. In a recent vlog, he noted that at TPC Sawgrass for the shootout, he's going to partner with Marquez Brownlee. If you watch YouTube, you probably are familiar with Marquez Brownlee. He's just a huge tech YouTube reviewer. And so he's been watching golf, and it's going to be a cool crossover between, you know, a mainstream influencer and Garrett Clark. So that's something to note and something to look out for. But he's been very consistent. I think he only missed like two vlogs, 2 of these daily vlogs. In today's vlog at Hammock Beach, CEO Matt Kendrick called Garrett out for not showing up to meetings and for being late to everything. I don't know if you had the chance to watch Garrett's vlog today, but Kendrick was joking around like, you deserve to have this room with crappy beds because you've been late to meetings and you're not really showing up. And apparently there was some antics. I don't even know what that means, but Garrett might have talked back or said something out of line. And Garrett was saying, sometimes I'm up editing till 6 a.m. That's just how it is. It's just something to keep an eye on, right? Like this vlog channel that he's doing, he's now getting into it. It's doing extremely well. I'll talk about this later, but him staying up till 6 a.m., it may or may not be healthy, right? It may not be healthy, especially given some of the health concerns that he's shared lately. And there's no signs of him slowing down because he said that for his Garrett Clark Vlogs channel, his new goal is to hit 250,000 subscribers. He's now at 111,000 subscribers with only 19 videos posted. That's ridiculous. So no slowing down for Garrett there on his vlog channel. Moving on to Bob Does Sports. I don't think I'll hold this up every time, but here we go in case this structure helps. Moving on to Bob Does Sports. Bob Does Sports posted a video today doing a donut challenge from their trip to Canada. Each guy had to try to finish 12 donuts over the course of 9 holes. They were doing a 3-man scramble. Apologies. Sorry, I'm not really paying attention to the chat much. You're in slow-mo. Sorry if it's a little laggy, Stan. At the beginning of this video, I was saying the next time that I do one of these things, I'm going to figure out this whole YouTube live. I tried to plug in my camera. It's actually plugged in right now, but you're seeing me off of my webcam, so it may be a little bit grainy and not great quality or audio. But next time we do this, I'm going to try to dial up the quality of this one, so it's going to be a little bit better. But bear with me for this one. Bob Does Sports Donut Challenge. Comment in the chat. Did you watch this video? I think it was posted just a number of hours ago. So if you saw it, you can follow along with me and have a few laughs. If you didn't see it, I definitely recommend checking it out. Anytime the Bob Does Sports guys post one of these food videos, they just do numbers. I think they kind of figured out that people enjoy seeing those guys go through pain. And what better way to go through pain than through food challenges that are just ridiculous, like finishing a dozen donuts in 9 holes. 6 hours ago was posted, 150,000 views. It's already doing numbers. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. One thing I did not expect from the donut challenge is that of all people to be struggling with putting down a dozen donuts, Fat Perez was the weak link in the group in terms of eating. Yeah, and he even noted that in the video, was making fun of himself. He said, I'm a fraud. But yeah, the guys trying to put down the donuts was very entertaining. And just following along their Canada trip has been fun because if you'll notice with the Bob Does Sports channel, they might be growing their team behind the scenes. I think they're adding on individuals because the Jet and Big Ticket, there's only so much that those two guys can do. I know Big Ticket does a lot of editing for the podcast, editing for Bob's Brilliantly Dumb podcast, and then the Jet's just a beast on YouTube edits. But there's been a demand from the viewers to get more behind the scenes content because those guys are very, very entertaining and people want to see what it's like off the course with those guys. So they've started to introduce some of those into their videos, and I really enjoy that. I very much enjoy some of those behind the scenes type of clips before or after the round. And we saw a little bit more in this one, including Fat Perez getting into some trouble driving their van. But interesting to see that challenge. Bob Does Sports is now at 614,000 subscribers. How much of their recent growth is due to Rick Shiels pushing them? Honestly, I was kind of surprised looking at some of their numbers, is that their sub growth is at the same rate that it was before the Rick Shiels collabs. So who knows? It's hard to tell exactly what kind of an impact the collabs with Rick Shiels are having, and Rick kind of pointing his viewers to go and subscribe to them. But they're moving at a steady clip, very steady clip, and they're now their subscriber count is now outpacing their average video views on their channel. So it seems that more people have subscribed to Bob Does Sports. For a while, they had 300,000, 400,000 subscribers, and they were getting that number or more views per video. Now their sub growth has kind of outpaced it a little bit, but they're moving along steadily, and there's no signs of slowing down for sure. They also posted a collab with Rick Shiels on their channel. And man, there's so many of these collabs with Rick Shiels, Bob the Sports, Scramble on Rick Shiels' channel, on Bob the Sports channel. They're all blending together like in my head. And so I don't even remember what happened in this particular collab with Rick Shiels. It's all rolling together as one collab in my head. But it's cool to see them over in the UK and to see some of that content. So far, I could be wrong. They've only posted one video with Rick. And so who knows? Are we going to see more of the UK content? Maybe their editing team is just a little bit behind compared to Rick's editing team, but Rick has like at least 3 videos with Bob the Sports guys up already. So hopefully we get to see more stuff coming with Rick, including how about the Guinness Challenge? That's been something that's been hyped up a lot. I would love to see that video with Rick. I didn't think he would do a drinking challenge, but it sounds like he did. Hopefully it's on the course, and hopefully things get pretty sloppy. I think that would be interesting to see Rick try to play golf while putting down a lot of Guinnesses. Before that, they did a speed challenge video. I love these videos. I love these videos, these one-hole videos. The title of this particular video is called "This Challenge Almost Ended Us," posted 9 days ago, Bob the Sports channel. But I love these one-hole videos where they try to play as quickly as possible. They time themselves, and it's just funny. I mean, this is kind of their bread and butter. This is part of their humor, is making fun of how unhealthy their diets are. Sometimes that, you know, they refer to themselves as just being out of shape. And so doing a speed challenge while, you know, not being in tip-top shape, pretty entertaining. And I really enjoyed seeing that video. So Bob the Sports right now currently is hosting the Breezy Invitational in Chicago, Illinois. I chatted with a Breezy athlete called Bear Down Cuz, or Mikey V. He's a co-host of the Brilliantly Dumb podcast, but I put out a video on my channel speaking with him and talking about what to expect from this weekend. And he said, and his words were about these Breezy Invitationals, is that it's like an all-day party. You're just drinking and eating all day. He said the golf is really secondary. And I think that's kind of the brand that they've built. And that's partly why Bob the Sports has been so successful, and Breezy Golf and these invitationals are so successful, is that it's so different from what else is already in the YouTube golf space. You have guys that golf is almost like the sideshow, right? And that's kind of what apparently these Breezy invitationals are like. It's more about partying, having a good time, hanging out, making content. And there's also some special appearances that we're going to see in Chicago from people like Grant Horvat, Paige Spiranak, and the Bustin' Jack boys. Speaking of Grant Horvat, Grant teed it up with Micah in a minor league golf tour event at Abacoa Golf Club in Jupiter, Florida. I actually had the chance to play 9 holes at Abacoa late last year. Beautiful course, great public track. And the results, I have to rack my brain here. I believe Grant shot even par 71 and Micah shot 3 over par 74. I could be wrong, but I think the results have been posted from that minor league golf tour event. It's interesting to see Grant return to tournament content because he hasn't posted tournament style content on his channel in a little while. But the last time that he did, it did numbers. I think it was about 4 months ago he posted a tournament video and it raked in nearly 1 million views. So I think he decided, hey, let's go out, play in another tournament, make a vlog, hang out with Micah, and also test his game. One note that I saw on the scoreboard is that he did not accept his prize money. I think he finished, I don't even know what place he finished, but he did qualify, or he was eligible to get prize money, I think $25, but it said that he accepted a gift card, or there was some caveat there as Grant retained his amateur status. So he did not accept any money, even though he would have won a little bit of prize money in that tournament. So Grant retains his amateur status, but also tests his game against some of these minor league players, which can be very, very talented players. I think 8 under par won the tournament, and Grant finished at even. So interesting to see him test his game, and then also to beat Micah by 3 strokes was also interesting because I know Micah's really worked on his game lately. He's trying to play these minor league events, and it seems like he's just kind of hitting a wall with his game. He's trying to work with, a strength coach that worked with Justin Thomas down in Jupiter. He has a new swing coach. I mean, he obviously has the swing to really score well, but a lot of times it's mental. It's in his head. We're going to get to Micah soon, but it's interesting to see that he's still kind of struggling in some of these minor league golf events to break par, and let alone win the tournament, but even to break par. So what else do I need to cover with Grant Horvat? In the last 2 weeks, we've seen him post a collab video with Micah and the Busta Jack guys. He also played around at Bethpage Black in his series called The Cut. I put out a video on that highlighting an incident where a lot of people were saying that he fluffed up his lie. He moved his ball. He's being dishonest about, playing straight up. I didn't expect so many comments on that one. A lot of people, surprisingly to me, are just of the opinion that YouTube golf is entertainment only. And if these guys are behind the camera, or when the cameras are off, they're kind of hitting extra shots, moving balls, doing this, that they don't really care as a viewer, because it's not tournament, it's not stroke play, it's not really cheating. They're putting out an entertaining product. I thought that was interesting. That's not really the opinion that I have. Like, if these guys are putting out stroke play videos, you want them to be honest stroke play videos and realistic. And so, but again, I mean, my take in that video was that there wasn't clear video evidence that he did move his ball. But some people agree with me. And then some people have said, hey, I've played Bethpage Black. I know that spot over the bunker where this incident happened, and he obviously and clearly moved his ball. So who knows? I don't know. Aside from the actual videos that only Grant possesses, no one will really know what happened there. But I thought that was interesting, and I just wanted to make a quick note of that. We also saw Grant put out a stroke play match against Rick Shiels and against George Bryan. So these 18-hole stroke play matches are just something that Grant's been doing a lot of lately. He loves to do it. I mean, that's partly, I think, was one of the reasons that he left Good was to do more of these stroke play events. Like, he likes to play serious golf. He wants to test his game. He wants to get better, and he's doing that. He put out a video 2 hours ago. I've not yet seen this, where Rick Shiels caddies for him at the 2023 Open, which I believe is Royal Liverpool. So I can't wait to watch that video. Rick Shiels caddying and him trying to, I'm guessing if it's 55 minutes, he's probably playing 18 holes. So Grant is just really pumping out content. And I mean, here's a guy who is surging up the YouTube golf rankings. Shout out Paul Nicholson for putting out the YouTube golf channel rankings. But yeah, he's surging up the rankings solidly at 442,000 subscribers. And he really treats YouTube golf so seriously, like a business. He has a passion for it. And I mean, some people have said he's going to be the next Rick Shiels. I mean, he's young. He's got the game. People really like him. He showed that he can deal with some adversity, leaving good, taking some hate. And he's really building his own channel that's very, very successful. And that's another thing to note on Grant's channel, is that he used to do a lot of these collab videos, and lately he's been doing more solo videos or 1v1 videos. And it's almost like these videos are doing even better. So he has people that just want to watch him play 18 holes, and they really just enjoy those type of videos. All right. Anything else with Grant? Grant right now is in Chicago, I believe, at the Breezy Invitational, as I had mentioned. And so hopefully he makes a video there. And then I mentioned earlier that he was with Micah down playing in the minor league golf tour event. So hopefully he posts that tournament vlog. We can expect to see those videos soon on his channel. Moving on to Micah Morris. Micah's only posted 2 videos in the past 2 weeks, which is half of Grant's, actually, I think it's even less than half of Grant's total over the same time, which is 5. Micah really seems lately to be prioritizing other things. I think his perspective is that, there's a lot of life to live, and being a golf YouTuber is just one aspect of his life. He's married, he moved to Florida. His last video features more lifestyle content on his channel, showing that he bought a house down in Florida with his wife that they're going to rent out as an Airbnb. And so I really think Micah is just kind of, I don't want to say he's changing the direction of his YouTube channel. That might be an overstatement, but it looks like he is prioritizing other parts of his life, and I think that's good. Every person has a different path, and Grant is just diving full into this YouTube golf scene right now, and it's paying off. I mean, Grant's at 442,000 subs. He's probably going to eclipse Micah at 456,000 pretty soon, and he's choosing to travel all the time and go over and visit Rick Shiels in the UK and make the best videos possible. Micah's saying, hey, I'm down in West Palm, I'm married, I'm going to buy a property, fix it up with my wife, rent it out as an Airbnb, play in a minor league golf tour event once a week, film it, and just kind of do what I want, because I've built up this business to the point that I can, if I wanted to take a month off, I probably could. And so I think he's just maybe at a little bit of a different stage. And who knows, maybe he's got a lot of videos in the oven right now, and in the next month, we're going to see him post 3 times a week. Who knows? But if you did see that house tour video, thought it was really interesting. And he mentioned in that video with Katie that he's going to start doing more lifestyle content. So could we start seeing just behind the scenes vlogs of Micah's life in Florida? Absolutely. And again, I'll get to that at the end of this video, which is YouTube golf in trouble? But yeah, that's a little bit of an update from Micah. Moving on to Peter Finch. Peter Finch put out a video a couple hours ago, I want to say. I've not yet seen it, featuring the BMW Pro-Am tournament at Wentworth, where he was playing with, among other golf influencers, Mac Boucher. So I can't wait to watch that video. Wentworth just seems like an unbelievable golf course. So excited to see that video. Before that, he put out a video talking about different mistakes that people make when buying a driver. That was kind of one of his older type of club-focused, helping the average golfer video. It's not really doing as many numbers as I thought. So who knows if he'll continue with some of that club-focused content. But I've found that video interesting, just hearing about how, the prices of drivers are just getting crazy high. Some of these older models of drivers are really, really good. So interesting video. And I also wanted to talk about a video he put out 2 weeks ago titled "Restarting My Golf Career with This Video's Earnings." The thumbnail is updated with the current dollar amount of earnings. Now it's up to $836. So that's just interesting to me as a YouTuber, because you see that the video has 109,000 views and it's made $836. So I'm not a mathematician, but you could reverse engineer what his CPM is on that video. Pretty interesting. And I think that concept is very, very unique, which is Pete Finch is going to rebuild his golf bag with the earnings from one video on his main channel. So I think it's just one video. I don't know if he's counting the earnings of all the recent videos, but that's going to be interesting. I think it's a very creative concept, a little bit of, I don't know if you're familiar with Ryan Trahan and the Penny series, but it's a very creative concept, and I like that a lot. All right, Bryan Bros. George Bryan is currently playing in pre-qualifying for Q School at the club at Irish Creek. I'm not sure if you followed or have stayed up to date with some of the scores that are being posted online, but through 2 rounds, he currently sits at 9 under par, shot a 4 under par in his second round today. He's in 3rd place, solo 3rd place. The top 39 players and ties will advance to the first stage of Q School. So George is playing really well. And I talked to him. I put out a video on my channel where I interviewed him. And I asked him, when you go to Q School, are you going to make content out of it? He said, of course. So I believe he's brought a videographer. And those first 2 rounds were filmed. We're going to see those on his channel. And he's playing really good golf. 5 under par, 4 under par. I think there's 1 round left, 3rd round. So he is easily inside the top 39. I mean, at this point, he's trying to win this because he's in 3rd place, 1 stroke behind the leader at 10 under par. And that's going to be really interesting just to follow his entire Q School journey. But good for George, good for YouTube Golf to see someone, one of our own, out there competing at the pre-stages for qualifying for Q School and doing so well. What else is going on with the Bryan Bros? They posted a video showcasing Solina Golf Club, and that course just looks so pristine. in my interview with George, he mentioned that Salina Golf Club may open early next year, spring of next year. So I hope to go visit that course. It's going to be private, but George was saying that it'll sort of be open if you are a creator, if you want to come and play it and make some content, that they'll kind of allow people to come, and it'll be a content hub, but it is a private course. So that course looks absolutely sick. And then most recently, 7 days ago, George put out a video of a 2v2 where George teamed up with, I believe it's a Corn Ferry player. His nickname is Cardboard. I don't know his real name, Scotty, I want to say. That's my guess. Him and Cardboard took on Wesley, and I think his name was Matt. That was some of the best golf I've seen in a while. If you haven't yet seen that video, it's got about 150,000 views, posted a week ago. George just really, I mean, George and Cardboard just stepped on Wesley and Matt in that video. Absolutely stepped on them. I don't know the scores. I don't remember. But, man, that was some really good golf. They played the front nine on the main Brian Bros channel, and then the back nine was released on Brian Bros' new channel called Brian Bros TV. Brian Bros TV has just shot up. I mean, I remember George put out some type of a story. I think Brian Bros put out a story saying that they're going to release a video once the channel hit 1,000 subscribers. When I subscribed to Brian Bros TV, I think they had like 300 or 400 subscribers. That channel, at the time that I was preparing my notes right here, that channel had 25.9 thousand subscribers. It's crazy. I mean, this just really shows how tight the Brian Bros community is, that they can just snap their fingers, start a second channel where they say they're going to post more behind the scenes content, a little bit of off course stuff, a little bit more personality, daily vlog type of material, and bam, 25,000 subscribers. So Brian Bros launching a new channel. That's awesome. All right, we're getting to the end. Thanks for bearing with me here. Upon popular request, I've added Busted Jack to this list of channels for the YouTube Golf Rundown. So Busted Jack has been grinding out videos from their Golf and Old Glory series. They recently visited the Lab Golf headquarters. Lab Golf makes those huge putters that look like spaceships, and I think they have a partnership with Busted Jack. They may be releasing their own custom putter with Lab Golf, but they went out and visited headquarters, played a match with the Lab Golf CEO. They also posted a video from Wyoming. Additionally, they visited New York, played at Trump Links at Ferry Point, which I think has been renamed Bally Links at Ferry Point, but I'm pretty sure it's the Trump course. And it's not that far from me. I have not yet played Trump Links at Ferry Point, but would love to get out and play that course. They mentioned in that video that they had wanted to feature, I believe it was Winged Foot. They wanted to make a video at Winged Foot to feature New York as part of their series, but at the last minute, 30 minutes before, they were told they couldn't film. So they had to settle for Trump Links at Ferry Point, which is still an awesome course. Really enjoyed seeing that course on camera, and a course that's kind of in my backyard. They also posted a tournament video from a U.S. amateur 4-ball qualifier, and they did a little voiceover walking you through that tournament. These guys can play. I mean, they didn't end up shooting the number that they needed, but they can absolutely play. So I enjoyed seeing a little bit of that tournament style video on their channel. It looks like they recently visited Vermont and Delaware, or maybe Maine, and they've been sharing some little snippets on social media. So we can expect to see some more videos. I mean, they're pumping out content, and they're traveling across the country. I don't know how they're doing it. It's absolutely crazy, but their channel is growing very, very quickly. So Busted Jack Boys, pretty sure they started on TikTok and built up a decent following, and then took it over to YouTube, and now bam. I mean, I remember watching Busted Jack when they had just started their YouTube channel, and they were talking about, like, they were shouting out creators. They were saying, hey, Garrett, good, we'd love to make a video with you. Grant or Micah, we'd love to make a video with you. And that was when they had just kind of, sorry about the sirens in the background, but that's when they just popped on the YouTube scene, and they were looking to collab with some of the bigger names. And now they've become a big name, so much so that they're on my list of channels to watch out for and provide a recap on every week. So Busted Jack Boys show no signs of slowing down. As I mentioned earlier, they're currently in Chicago at the Breezy Invitational, and they're playing with, I want to say, Daltouche and Grant Horvat. So that'll be fun to see some of that content from Chicago. They also mentioned in a recent Golf and Old Glory series video that in 2024, they want to take this series global. So they want to play golf in different countries. That's nuts. Maybe it's continents. Who knows? Continents, countries. These guys are absolutely on fire. So if they want to travel more and play more golf courses around the world, throw a little bit of that adventures in golf type of video content, traveling to different cultures, I'll tune in and watch because they make really good content and they're taking off. All right. Title of the video. This is wrapping up here. Title of the video. All right, here we go. We finally made it to the bottom here. Threat to YouTube golf. We covered all these channels, and now we're finally getting to the title of this video, which is YouTube golf is in trouble. Why is YouTube golf in trouble? Well, what we've seen recently is that there's been a shift toward vlog content. Garrett Clark vlogs started, popping off a little bit. And now it's spreading. And now other people are deciding to make these daily vlog type of videos. So I think we could potentially see a shift away from golf content and toward this type of vlog behind the scenes content. When I was watching, I talked about this earlier with Bob Does Sports, but when I was watching their first video in Canada where they showed that off-course content, it was the video, I don't know if you saw it, but it was the video where Fat Perez was doing cannonballs into the pool. When I was watching that video and they moved to the golf course, I almost felt a letdown. Like I wanted more behind the scenes content. That to me was gold. I think Joey or somebody left their suitcase at the airport and it was just really, really, really interesting. So I thought Bob Does Sports would create a second channel, like Good Extra, right? Bob Does Sports Extra, Bob Does Sports, whatever, vlogs. But they're kind of integrating this vlog style content into their main channel. But these guys have built up an audience and make such good content off the course that they could drop golf entirely and people would continue watching them. And so it's interesting to see some of these channels like Garrett, like Matt, like Steve, pick up the camera and try to produce, behind the scenes daily life content, just typical vlog content. And so, as I mentioned earlier, right? I mean, Garrett is grinding and staying up till 6 a.m. putting out vlogs. Why? Because his channel is just taking off. Garrett Clark Vlogs, 111,000 subscribers, 19 videos, and there's a high demand for this type of content. Why is that a threat to YouTube golf? Can't you just do both? Well, look, Garrett's staying up till 6 a.m. pumping out edits for these vlogs while he's on good trips, while he's doing meetings, while he has GM Golf YouTube channel going with Ryder, right? At some point, something has to give. And the concern for the YouTube golf space is that if these daily vlog type of channels, whether they're daily or not, if these behind the scenes vlog channels get so popular, could we see some creators deprioritize the golf videos and just prioritize bringing people along behind the scenes in their day-to-day life? Because that at the end of the day is most valuable to a creator, is just having people tune in and watch your day-to-day life, as opposed to needing to go out to a golf course, get permission to film, play 9 holes, add shot trace. You know what I mean? Like if you can just pick up the camera, bring it with you, which is what these guys are doing, and people are going to watch, that's very sustainable. And that's great if you're trying to build up your own personal brand that's going to, afford you the ability to do whatever you want, sell whatever products, make whatever products. And so Steven's picking up the camera. Matt put out a vlog today behind the scenes. And if you really just think about it, it's like the golf space has somewhat of a ceiling. It wasn't too long ago that Rick Shiels hit 1 million subscribers. So the golf space has somewhat of a ceiling because not everyone likes golf enough to watch 9-hole, 18-hole matches. But if you take away the golf and then, Garrett, Matt, Steven, whoever it is, Bob Does Sports guys are just filming their day-to-day life, not on the golf course. Now, all of a sudden, you're tapping into a much wider audience, like a much wider audience of people who may just, find it entertaining to tag along, really. You look at the good guys, you're looking at guys who are in their 20s, who are extremely successful, making a lot of money, traveling, really living their dream life with their best friends. And so that right there is that's really good content. You look at a good house, you look at whatever, 5, 6, 7 people living there. Like these guys are living out, their dreams. They're hanging out with their buds and they're getting to do what they want every single day, make content, travel, and it's compelling content. I mean, same with Bob Does Sports. Bob Does Sports a little older, but those guys are getting to travel, do whatever they want, and the camaraderie, the vibes, really it's just the shenanigans with the Bob Does Sports guys. Something goes wrong with every little trip, but that content is really good. And so concern for YouTube golf is that, hey, maybe there's a bigger demand, a much wider audience for non-golf content, and could that somewhat threaten or take away from the golf content in the space? What do you think? Drop a comment down below if you're tuning in. Let me know what you think. Do you watch some of these off-course videos? Have you watched the Garrett Clark vlog channel? Did you watch Matt Sharf's vlog that he put out today? Do you like this as much as the golf content? Do you like it more than the golf content? Or do you want both? Would love to hear your thoughts on some of this, but really interesting to see. And it's just something to keep an eye on is the shift toward vlog content within the YouTube space, the YouTube golf space. Thanks so much for sticking with me. This was over an hour. So thanks for hanging out with me. We got Thursday night football starting in 10 minutes. Appreciate all of you tuning in. I apologize if I haven't kept up with the chat. It's been, I've been trying to get through a lot of notes here on the YouTube golf space, but a lot of exciting things happening. The YouTube golf space, as much as I say the golf space may be in trouble or threatened by this vlog content, the YouTube golf space also on the other side of the coin has never been in a better spot in terms of the number of creators making videos, in terms of, channels pushing through 1 million subscribers. I mean, I think for a long time, Rick Shiels was the only 1 million plus sub channel. And then Good surpassed 1 million. And now GM Golf is closing in on 1 million. Bob Does Sports, if they keep growing at their pace, in pretty soon, in no time, they're going to be closing in on 1 million subscribers. And so post-COVID, golf's become more popular. More people are watching. I think there's also a general trend away from watching cable TV, watching PGA Tour, and tuning into the YouTube golf space. So there are also some factors working in the favor of YouTube golf. And so it's a great time to cover the space. It's hard to keep up with all the videos. I'm sure you feel the same way. That's kind of why I decided to start focusing this channel on covering the space, is that there's just so much content to watch. And so last question I have for you, if all of the top YouTube golf creators upload a video at the same time, which video are you watching first? Like, who is I can't miss one of these videos if this creator drops a video? Who's that channel for you? Maybe it's a top YouTube golf channel. Maybe it's a channel that I don't even watch, but I would love to hear who's a must-watch YouTube golf creator. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. Again, apologies. This is my first YouTube live stream, so apologies if it was a little bit laggy, if the quality wasn't great. I will attempt to do this again at some point, and I'll have that figured out hopefully, so it's a smoother viewing experience for you. But appreciate you tuning in. If you've watched this far, I really, really appreciate you. If you go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, that would tell YouTube you enjoyed this content and allow me to keep making more of these videos. So I'm Dougie. This is the Golf Clan. Thank you so much for hanging out. I enjoyed hanging out. I tried to kind of keep up with the chat box, but apologies if I dropped the ball at some point. But appreciate you so much. Hope you enjoyed this YouTube Golf Rundown. Hope you have an amazing Thursday night, and looking ahead to this weekend, a lot of YouTube golf to continue consuming. So that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to end the stream here, but hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a blessed week, a blessed weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video.